What's up, guys? Boogie back again. So, guys, some women are saying Cassie was not a victim. They want her to go to jail too. They want her to be held accountable. So, shout out to Anton Daniels. They had this conversation. So, I was like, you know what? Let's go through it and see what the women are saying. Give our perspectives. Comment down below what you guys think. Links down below to all the videos that I'm going to be reacting to. So, let's go.
Accountable for some of her choices. She chose to do some of those things and she was not under duress. Okay. Cassie needs to prepare for the possibility of Alex leaving her. Okay. Only so much ridicule a man can take. Okay. Men, their egos, they're different from us. Okay. Their pride means a lot more to them than it does women oftentimes. You get what I'm saying? So this man's pride is hurt. I don't care what y'all say. That man's pride is very hurt after all that stuff came out on the stand. You know, that's not something that they can just live down and put behind them. Okay, God forbid he had words with somebody, a disagreement. What do you think the first thing they're going to say to him is? You probably can't even satisfy your wife, all those BBCs she had up in her. No, I don't think it's fair that a woman's past is held against her. That's why we need to tell these young ladies the truth. Stop telling them that they can get out here and wild out without consequences. If you like, this man has sat in front of the world and heard about vile, disgusting acts that his wife willingly participated in with hundreds of men. That's a lot for anybody to deal with.
Okay. So I hope you guys been keeping up with the trial. A lot of stuff was said. Should Cassie, we could talk about both odds, about him staying or will he stay, but should Cassie also be held accountable for the choices she made with Diddy?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead. Who want to talk about it? Go ahead. Jump first.
I'm like, yes, but. Yes.
Meaning? Yes, but what?
But. Well, it's my understanding that they started the connection when she was 19 years old and he was pushing 40. The irony is now Cassie is pushing 40. I think she's also ready to have her baby. But think about the growth that she's had from the time that she encountered Diddy for the first time and to where she is now. I think that to just say that somebody is over 18, that they're an adult and that they will always make good decisions, or that they really understand what they're getting into, or that they're not vulnerable to predatory people who will exploit their naivete. I mean, you are not downloaded with all the information that you need to know at 19 years old. You are still a teenager. Your brain doesn't even mature until age 25. So when I think about Cassie and the fact,
I mean, before she even keeps going on, if we are going to assume that people's brains are not developed till 25, then people shouldn't drink till 25. People shouldn't vote till 25. People shouldn't go to the military and fight in wars till 25. People shouldn't vote till 25. You know, they shouldn't be able to drive till 25. They shouldn't own a gun till 25. Like, what are we doing here? It's like we pick and choose when we want to call adults, and pick and choose when we want to call, adults kids. Because if the same person who's 19 committed a crime against this woman, she wouldn't say, oh, he's just 19, she's just 19. You should charge her for the crime as a teenager, as a kid, not as an adult. Because best believes if a 19-year-old end someone's life, they're going to charge them as an adult. I mean, they're smart enough to know they shouldn't take someone's life. The same woman is going to claim women who are doing OnlyFans, who are 19 years old, they can do whatever they want. So they're grown enough to show their bodies online for money, but they're not grown enough to be in a relationship. We can't pick and choose who's young and who's not.
the fact that I have 3 girls, and I'm thinking like they were her age when, a couple of them were her age when all this went down. I got to think to myself that they were still children. Even though legally they are considered adults, they are still children and vulnerable and naive and subject to somebody that's grooming them. So I would just start there, because then the template is for everything else that, you know, we could talk about. So all the things that she did subsequently, I think you have to consider first that she was kind of a kid, and this man who's old enough to be her father came in and imposed all of these things. Drugs were also related, which also alters the brain. So, you know, it's, to me, not so cut and dried.
Okay.
But I'm
She
open,
was
I'm open to,
she was
I'm open to
21,
other-
22.
Hmm?
She was 21, 22. She was with Ryan Leslie for 3 years.
Exactly. That's the point most people forget. She was already dating a man before she met Diddy. And then, but if she didn't date Diddy and she decided to become a porn star, that would be okay. She's a grown adult to do that. But then she's not grown enough to date an older man. She's grown enough to do porn, to do OnlyFans, but she's not grown enough to date an older man. It's crazy how the double standards work.
And then she got with Diddy. She cheated on Ryan Leslie with Diddy, and then that's when she got with him.
Yeah.
I still think that 21 or 22. I mean, I still think that that's young. I still do. I think whether it was 19, 21, or 22, we really don't have the maturity of our brains until 25. And that's not to absolve people and excuse people. I'm just saying that that's not enough relationships to be hip to game to know all of, like, how to identify it in a way. I mean, her father,
At what age should women?
I'm sure he wasn't hipping her to any game that was going on over there.
So at what age should women start to help responsible for their decisions?
Good fucking question.
No,
Anton.
I'm not discounting that that there's any age.
Answer his question first. At what age should they be deemed adults to be held accountable for their actions? Tell us.
That a woman shouldn't be held responsible for their decision. What I am saying, though, is that when it comes to the condemnation of the choices that she makes, age should be a consideration. It would be a consideration for me. I mean,
is that only applicable to women?
No, it isn't. And oftentimes I hear, especially within this community, that people deserve a second chance because what they did when they were young and have since matured and learned better, they have done better, and is often celebrated in this community for the men. But it seems that oftentimes the women, there is no redemption. Like, we are supposed to be magically downloaded with all this information to know better. And listen, I'm hard on the women too. So I'm not here to be an apologist to women. But what I'm saying is that they are, they're mitigating factors is a phrase that exists for a reason. That's it.
But we could charge men. I mean, we charge people with, give them life for murder at 16, 17 years old.
Exactly.
They're able to join the army at 18.
Exactly.
Able to smoke cigarettes. She's able to buy alcohol, liquor.
That's what I said.
People have freak offs in college. At what age? Is it only because it was Diddy and the stuff that he was doing, or is it because?
No, it's because in this case they make it seem like Cassie was it. Because I could give zero shits about who the victim was, who the predator was, But for all the times, the moments she had to go and report to the police, at even one point she went to date another man, her current husband, and then she came back to Diddy, and then she went back to her current husband. All those moments she could have gone to the police, but to pick and choose when we want to say, oh, she was young, or she could have, or she was being used. It's like, okay, so we have 19-year-olds doing OnlyFans, doing porn, and that's legal and that's okay. But when they are dating, then that's not okay. I mean, at this point, we should raise the age of consent and being adults to 30. Because apparently to this woman, 25, below 25 is not old enough.
I think that your early 20s, you're still kind of a kid. I mean,
no, you're not.
I know that you're sort of the exception to Anton. I know that you got married in your 20s and you're still married, and that's wonderful. But most of us were absolute morons from
That's on you. If you are young and you're a moron, if I was young and I was a moron, that's on me and maybe on my parents for not raising me right. That's not to blame any other person. Like, we gotta hold ourselves accountable. If you're 21 and you commit a crime, you're going to jail. No judge is going to listen to you. Oh, I'm still a kid. My brain is not developed. Judge, I'm sorry. I killed someone, but my brain won't develop until 25. And that's when I realized that I can't kill people. No, you're going to jail. So we can't pick and choose when we want to switch the edge of consent and when we want to make sure people have the knowledge and the brains to know right from wrong.
From 19 to 24 or 25. We made a lot of mistakes. I did not make the kind of mistakes that Cassie made, but I certainly did. The thing that I don't like is how everybody can make judgments about like what they would have done. Or, girl, if the cell phones would have been around for what we were doing, and I'm Gen X, I'll be 52 in July. And like the idea that we're somehow so much better, we just didn't get caught. It just wasn't exposed. There go by the grace of God, whatever. So it is not, again, not to absolve, but to understand.
Jess? I think Jess is agreeing. Oh, go ahead.
You said me. Okay, so we can all agree that there was a level of grooming associated with this, but
nope.
At some point, Cassie did become complicit in this whole situation, and I do think she should be held accountable. I think Cassie should have took the money and ran, because before she even got on the stand, people had this perception that she was this victim, right? And that's kind of what we all went with until we started hearing the details of the case, looking at the text messages, and we like, well, oh damn. She's just as guilty as Diddy is. So I hear you. Yes, she was young, but at the same time, innately, we know what's right and what's wrong. And we know that some of the things that Cassie was participating in, like, there's really no excuse for that. And then to add the whole situation with Ryan Leslie, I feel like Cassie was chasing a bag. She was chasing a man of status. She was chasing X, Y, and Z. And I think she got her feet a little bit more wet than what she intended to. And it kind of, swindled from there. But nah, Cassie is just as guilty as Diddy is, and I'm not taking her being 21, 22, because I went out there doing that at 21 and 22.
Facts, man. For the first time, Jess, I'm with you. For the first time. I'm sorry, baby girl. You've been letting me down these past few episodes, but right on the money. Because, guys, think about like this. If it was a guy who was 19 years old with a 45-year-old woman, they wouldn't say he was groomed. They wouldn't say he shouldn't be. They would say he knows what he got himself into. If we're gonna be honest, if it was a man, take it a step further. If it was Cassie, let's say Diddy got broke because Cassie stole all his money. Because this happens all the time. Men date younger women, and younger women take all their money, all their savings, steal money from them. You know what the women say? He should have known better. Because this time around, it's not the woman on the bad end of the stick. So it's like, it's both adults. They know what they are doing. They both get something they both get gained by being in the relationship. And if one doesn't like it, go to the police right away. Don't wait years. Don't go date other people, then come back to the relationship, then go somebody else, then come back and then claim you're a victim. No, go to the police the first time something happens that you don't like.
Nah. Mm-mm.
Have y'all ever heard that quote? It's from the movie The Usual Suspects, and the quote was, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist." So that's like what immediately came to my mind, because I already from the beginning I said, "Ain't no way," because I do believe. My thing is, I don't think that this should be charged the way it is. Were they freaked out? Yes. Were there drugs involved? Yes. Was it toxic to a whole nother level? Yes. But my thing is, like, especially like after, because I've been following it, and when you read that all of the videos and the pictures and everything, she had it. She was like initiating them. She wanted a lot of them. Was she threatened to kill somebody if it got to him? I do believe that she was a co-conspirator, and I honestly believe that she wanted that. She liked that. When she went to rehab. She went to rehab for opioid addiction and sex addiction. Now, I don't know I know that he went to rehab for the drugs, but I don't know if he went for sex addiction. But my thing is, and then when she got the money, wait, I don't want to say the more thing.
So wait, are you saying that Cassie should be held accountable?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that it's messed up that because, and I'm very open with, I've dealt with domestic abuse for 6 years. And like a part of my recovery from it, I speak to women in domestic abuse shelters. You know, I go do my part with it because I got out, I survived. But one of the things that we always start talking about is the fact, and now it's more prevalent than ever. I mean, it's been being done where women will use it as an excuse. Like when she said she was raped by Diddy, and then I forget what the husband's name is. She said it was rape, and then she had it because, him. And then which I believe he knows everything.
You think she told him everything before they got married?
Yeah.
I don't think Cassie told her current husband everything. Especially the fact, because she claimed Diddy raped her, and then a month later, she went to have normal sex with Diddy, and then the husband FaceTimed her while she was with Diddy. Like, I don't think she explained that part. I'm going to be honest. I don't think she told him A to Z. I'm sure when they were in the court, some of the things Cassie said shocked that guy. And to me, this is what I believe, and this is what some people believe. I believe that years down the road, now that she's got the money, I think almost $30 million from Diddy and from the hotel that released the video, I believe he's gonna divorce her after some time to take half the money. If we're gonna be honest, I'm just being honest. That's what I think he's gonna do.
Because I also that
y'all don't even tell me y'all's body count. So
no, she didn't.
Look, but
I think she did.
Yeah,
I think that she wouldn't have had a choice.
Telling somebody something and then hearing it and seeing everything is different. And his mom, he runs for Haven House, which is an abuse shelter. I think his mom went through something like with abuse and everything. But I think she told him everything from A to Z and stuff?
No.
And he's probably finding out a lot of stuff that he thought. But my thing is, I don't like when women claim abuse and it's just a cop out. I think that she knew the charges were coming. The feds wanted Diddy, and they came to her and was just like, "Look, this is coming. We need you to work in with it." I don't know.
I don't know. Like I don't think. Honestly, she probably, after her taking the money, I don't think she thought it would have went this far to a trial to where she would have to testify about what she did. Yep. I don't think she told him everything. Women of today don't even tell men what they did in college to their husbands. So you think she told that man she was getting pissed on in the mouth by other guys is diabolical.
I mean,
facts.
I don't think so. But my thing is, I think that she knows he's most likely not going to go anywhere because he's a trainer. Now, my aunt's a celebrity trainer. She makes good money, but she don't make that money.
Wait, well, because he can still divorce her and get alimony.
That is true.
And that's why I say that's going to be his game plan. After 5 years from now, he's going to divorce Cassie and take half of the money she got, if we're going to be honest.
Kamaya, we can't hear you, Kamaya. Izzy, I think you wanted to talk. Go ahead, Izzy.
I wanted to say that I feel like two things can be, or maybe multiple things can be true at once with Cassie. I feel like, yes, she was a victim.
Of what?
But I also think that like she was a victim of Diddy, obviously, but I also think she was a victim of her own greed, because to me, I think that someone said earlier she wanted a lifestyle, and that's why she remained in it as long as she did. So I believe that she wanted to be like a pop star and be Hollywood famous and all of those things, and Diddy was a sure way for her to get that. That's why, because it makes no sense to me why someone would stay. And even watching, well, not watching the trial, reading about what happened and all the times where she said that, you know, he hit her, he all the breakups and things like that, and then she goes around and says that she still loves him. I feel like that's not, in my opinion, I feel like that's not true, and that's just a cop out. And you cannot love somebody that's doing all of those things to you. And I feel like she's just saying that because that's what people fall, like, they default to using love as a way to like cover up for their own whatever it is, insecurities, or just not wanting to hold themselves accountable. You don't love the guy that was giving you a UTI. You don't love the guy that was hitting on beating you up. You don't love the guy that made you sleep with so many people. You don't, but you just say that because you feel like people be like, yeah, love makes you do crazy things. Like, that's, for me, that's like not true.
Yeah, for her staying for all those years, because listen, it's not like she stayed with Diddy the entire time. She stayed with Diddy, broke up with him, went on to date other guys, including the trainer, the current husband that Diddy hired for her, Kid Cudi and other guys. She came back to Diddy, went back to all these guys. In that space and time, she could have gone to the police. It's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Women are saying most of the ladies in the panel are saying she gotta be held accountable. What do you guys think about that? All right, next. We have Lapif Network. It's going crazy these days, man. Women don't want to be feminine. They don't want to be submissive. And they're calling men with preferences sassy. Let's get into it.
All I wanted to say was you can be faith-based. You can be a Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, or what have you. But I think a lot of times men often think because she's a Christian, she's in church, she's in her Bible, she's not a realist. And I think we have to remember that. We're all faith-based women on here, I assume, School Podcast, myself, Empress V, but we're also realists. So,
what's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference from following biblical order and being a realist?
Because I can understand that I can be in the Bible, I can go to church, I can believe in the Christian faith, but I'm also a realist in how a man may treat me, how a man may not want to lead, how a man may want different things from myself. I'm not naive to that.
Yeah, but the Bible doesn't tell women to stay in abusive relationships. The Bible actually tells women that they need to be with a leader. And it spells out what a man does and how he treats his wife. She's making it seem like the Bible tells women to stay in abusive relationships.
Right. So I've learned that through time. But for me personally, I won't hold it against the man if he's not in church every single day. Right. But as Empress B has said, and also the Wife School Podcast, we have to be equally yoked. I have to understand and feel safe and know that you believe in something. That you believe in something. That's just me personally. And you, Sweeney, you've been married for many, many, many years. Times have changed. The dating game has changed. The needs and wants of men and women have changed.
I disagree. The needs and wants of men have stayed the same from time immemorial. I want a nice woman, kind, feminine, fit, friendly, respect me. It's been the same. For women, it's now, all the way. I don't even know. They want you to be, I don't know, besides the money, they also don't want you to expect them to cook. In other words, they want men's expectations to go lower, but their expectations for men have gone higher. So men's expectations for women have stayed the same. Women's expectations for men have tripled, quadrupled.
And that's why we had mentioned before, women are kind of just doing it for themselves in terms of they're kind of on a straight and narrow. They're focusing on their business. They're focusing on their profession. They're going to school. They're doing them. Because to be perfectly honest, men are kind of giving sassy vibes. And
that's what they always call men. They either call them sassy, gay, controlling, narcissist. What other buzzwords, shaming tactics do they use? Anytime men don't want to put up with their bullshit, they call them all those weird names.
They're acting a little bit more feminine than the
See?
women are.
What
That's
does
just
that
how I
mean?
see it. I'm saying men in general. I'm
No,
not.
I'm asking like, what does that mean though? Like, what
What do you
do you
mean?
mean by that? Like,
I think he's
It-
asking for like an example.
Well, as we had mentioned before, it seems like women, we are the ones supposed to be serving constantly 24/7. What is it that you need? What is it that you want? How can I make you feel better? But at the end of the day, there's no middle ground. We're not meeting in the middle.
like what?
Well, maybe sometimes I want my feet rubbed. Maybe I want to come home to a home cooked meal. Maybe
See what I told you? Men's wants and expectations have been the same. But women's expectations have changed. Now they want the man to also do the woman's role. Because men and women have roles. They at least they expect each other of certain roles, right? But what women now want, they want men to do their roles as well. Do your role as a man and do half of my role as a woman. And I'll just lay back and live in my soft girl era. And men are saying no. So that's why they call them sassy.
sometimes like, let's go out for some coffee. Why do I have to always plan the dates? Do I have to drive?
You never do
These
that.
are like and it's the littlest.
damn.
No man
Wait a
does.
minute.
Man, don't wanna rub
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So
I didn't know it was so funny, but continue.
no, I'm gonna explain something to you. Oftentimes, men are being said that they are being accused of being sassy for asking for reciprocity.
Yep. Yes.
When they say that, hey, because that's exactly what the men are saying. Sometimes I want my feet rubbed. Sometimes I'm tired of always having to pay for all the dates. Sometimes I would like for you to come to me and ask me how I'm doing.
Yep.
That's literally what men are saying, and they often be accused of being sassy for asking for reciprocity. I don't think
No. That's not what I'm saying, because the question that Lapeef asked earlier, I said it goes both ways. I want to make sure, Empress in the wife school also said, we want to make sure that we are serving you. We want to make sure that we're saying, how are you doing? What is it that you need?
no.
But
Yeah,
but reciprocating it to come back to me to say, Kalima, how are you doing? I've seen that you haven't gotten sleep for over 2 weeks because you've been working on your dissertation. Do you want some coffee? I know your favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids. It's the little things. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah, but men do that all the time. In fact, from the beginning, from the moment a man meets a woman, he's expected to do all those things. Take me out, plan the date, call me, check on me. Because you guys, if you guys comment down below in the comments, 9 out of 10 times, if you meet a woman and you call her or she gives you her number and you call her the first time you guys talk, I can guarantee you, if you don't keep calling, she's just going to move on. They never put effort at all. They expect you to put all the effort. Call her, text her, check on her, take her out, pay for the dinner, make the plans, do all the things, buy her gifts. And then she's like, down the road, 6 or 12 months down the road, once you prove yourself to me, then I'll be nice to you. Then I'll do something nice to you. And even then you have to ask. And if you don't ask, they'll be like, oh, but I don't know. You didn't tell me. You didn't open up.
no. So I'm not denying that that's what y'all believe that reciprocity is and what it is to actually what you're supposed to bring. What I was going up against is when you say that men are sassy nowadays. When I ask for examples,
I didn't
Yep.
say all men. I'm not saying
I'm
all
not saying that you said. We just speaking in general. You just said that, hey, men are sassy. We seeing a lot of sassiness, and I'm just simply explaining that oftentimes the men, like what y'all deem as sassy, is basically men are asking for reciprocity in
Facts.
relationships, and they're just more vocal today about what they want. And since men have been vocal about what they want, they have been getting accused of being sassy, and that's just from the general public. That's normally when we hear somebody say that a man is being sassy, it's often him being vocal about how he feels.
Can I jump in really quick, Sweeney? When you bring up the concept of reciprocity, I guess we have to be careful of how we define things or understand how things are defined. So for me, when I say a man is being sassy, or it's like, he wants to be treated like a princess, it's kind of like he's a man who's just chilling, kicking back, and expecting the woman to do everything.
That's not true, because women never do everything. Number one. Number two, y'all call men sassy and gay and feminine anytime they have standards. Because you are used to walking all over the man and men letting you getting away with everything. But when you meet this guy who's like, hey, listen, you want me to call you? You got to call me too. They're like, oh, you're sassy. You want a woman to chase you? I don't chase men. It's like, no, I just want you to check on me as well to see if you really care. And then you call him sassy.
As in also when a woman has to put on her masculinity jacket and protect and serve while he just sits there and kicks back. There's nothing wrong with a man. I mean, I see some people making faces, but it's true. This is what's happening. I know some of us are married on the call, but to understand what's happening today, a lot of men are kicking back, relaxing, not wanting to fulfill their roles and their duty as a man.
Because they are tired of being taken advantage over. Because they have done it so many times and they're realizing, you know what am I getting in return? Because even when I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, she's going to say, but you didn't do X, Y, Z, and it's not enough. So men are like, you know what? I'm tired. You know what? I might as well kick back. Because when I do 7 things out of the 10 things she wants, it's not enough. You know, and she hasn't even done 2 things for me, but I've done 7, it's not enough. I might as well kick back. And they don't like it. The men are giving up. Some men are giving up. Some men are going to Asia, Brazil, Colombia, Africa, and like name it.
There's nothing wrong with a man asking for things to be reciprocated. If you're loving up on this woman, she should be loving up on you. If you're being thoughtful and considerate for this woman, she should definitely be doing the same thing for you. So you asking for that, and first of all, you shouldn't even be asking for that in return. And if you find that you are, and it's coming up a little bit too much, that might not be the person for you, because you should never be begging for somebody to pour into you the same way that you're pouring into them.
Well, it's not necessarily all right. So the thing is that it's just public discussions, right? Like when men are asking for these things, they're not saying, "Hey," like if we all on this panel talking, right? Mm-hmm. So when I bring up the things that men may want from their women, I'm not saying, "Hey, Empress, I need you to do this for me." Mm-hmm. What we're saying is, "Hey, this is what men tend to like." Would like to have in reciprocity. We don't see women doing this too often. Is it possible that y'all can do this and they're being called sassy? So it's not necessarily that men are like the men who are, you know what I mean, who are getting what they want.
Yeah,
they're not, you know what I mean. I'm sure they are also vocal about the things that they dislike in their women.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that when we're having a public discussion, it's often deemed as sassy for men to be vocal, which has been happening over the last 3 years. As soon as men started getting vocal about how they feel, about what they want in relationships, about the fact that, hey, look, we feel like we're giving so much, but we're not getting anything in return. That's when they started being called sassy, because instead of acknowledging the fact that men are desiring something that women may not be providing, they would rather shame the man into submission.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, and I'm glad you clarified it in that type of way. I, for one, was not aware of that general
lie. If you're on social media and you see what's going on, there's no way you don't see that. You know, men even had to create that whole soft guy era, drizzle, because they were saying, hey, listen, I've been doing all this for you. It's your turn now. You know, but as soon as a man asks, hey, baby, make me a sandwich, they call him controlling. They call him gay. So men are tired. Men are giving up.
Definition around sassiness. Again, I thrive in spaces personally. I know I'm not here to talk about myself, but like the people that I actually surround myself with also, we thrive in spaces of reciprocity. There's nothing wrong with a man who can even express his emotions and his thoughts and feelings is a strong man. I mean, nobody wants to deal with the machoistic man who we can never crack, or he can never just be vulnerable. Somebody used that term earlier, you know, to speak to me and, you know, want to foster a relationship with me. I don't see anything personally sassy about that. But then again, if a woman says that nowadays, she's also a pick-me, might be from the same bunch of women. But
Sweeney, I wanted to because I don't want to conflate the two things. So I think what the girls are talking about, like, because Sports Combe brought up something to me that was kind of like crazy. Like when she said, I want you to drive for once. And if the men that she's dealing with are letting her drive them in the car, I do think that might be a little sassy. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. I don't like when a woman drive me.
Yeah, but how many men of that kind has she met that are letting her drive? How many men has she met that let her pick the date and plan the date, and she calls them and chases them? Probably 1 out of 1,000. You know, but when they say sassy, they just really don't like men who are standing up and requiring them to do something for the man. Because remember, as men, we have to do things up front. If you're not going to take on a date, if you're not going to call her, if you're not going to plan something, you best believe she ain't going to do nothing. And you might as well go to the next girl, because very few women are going to put in effort from the beginning. All they want to do is show up. So how many men is she meeting, and which kind of men is she meeting? And how many times in the case where they make her plan the date and they make her drive them, that means that man doesn't have a car or something. You feel me? So I don't believe anything she says. But what do you guys think? Link down below to Lapif Network. Shout out to Anton Daniels. They talk about black men dating white women, white men dating black women. So let's get into it.
So what happened? Like, you just went out and y'all...
Yeah, we went to dinner. We went to AV's. I live in the Orlando area, Florida. So it was cool. It was nice. He had money. It was a nice guy. He was good looking. He was a good looking white guy.
So you turned down a good looking white man with money.
Yes, I do not like white. No, listen, it's not about him having money. It's not about him being good looking. I want a good man
Hold on.
Don't have anything to do with it.
You brought those details. I didn't bring that up.
Well, I'm saying it to say that it wasn't any kind of, because we have there's levels to people, and he was a nice guy.
So he was he was good
looking.
He was a winner.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He just texted me because we became friends, and he said he was moving to Vietnam. His job was moving him to Vietnam, and he was asking, can I house sit his cat?
So did you get this in general? And you don't have to answer this question. Did you get what you was looking for as an alternative?
Yes, but he passed away. Yeah.
Okay, I feel you. Well, my condolences to that. So, what was you about to say, Daylin, real quick?
I was saying,
I know you got to get yours. So go ahead.
What you mean? I've dated one white man. I've been approached by several, but because of my experience with that white man is why I knew I shouldn't waste future white men's time. And it's not that white isn't right.
What was your experience?
He was very kind, very sweet. But here's the thing. He let me know that he only dated ethnic women or women from an urban background because his experience with white women was kind of bland and unfulfilling and not exciting, and that dating.
You got offended at that.
I got offended.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the same way you had a bad experience with someone and you choose to date someone different, I think that's what dating is all about, relationships. You learn what you don't like and then you try something new. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, no, I didn't get offended by that at all. I mean, I did think it's weird. I'm like, well, what's wrong with the white women you surrounded by? Then he kind of gave me his background and how he grew up. So I was like, okay.
So everybody here has had white men approach them and tried to date them.
Yes.
Yes, they just don't give off. Like, they wouldn't be able to check me or lead me.
They wouldn't be able to check you now?
Who said that? Nah, lead. I need somebody strong. And they just like real passive.
So they wouldn't be. So you don't like nice guys.
I know. I haven't met a white man who can tame me. Like,
wait.
But why should he tame you? This is a whole thing of you can't handle me. Like, no man wants to tame or handle you. Like, just be nice and soft. We don't have to come and handle you and tame you. Like, which man wants that?
So what is there to
I do not agree with what she said. Not tame me like so not tame me like I'm out of control, but I don't know if it's like masculine, like not a pushover, it's just soft. I don't.
I'm gonna get you, girl.
Yeah, like too nice.
So you saying that you don't want a guy that's too nice to you?
Too what?
Too nice to you.
It's not nice. That's not what I
Well, you
mean.
said too
Like,
nice. That's literally what you said. You said too
When you
nice.
say white men don't get
I'm sorry, Dana.
it like they
He
don't
said
give
check.
off what a black man gives off. They just don't. I
And
don't know
what
how
is
to put
that?
that into words, but
Well, wait. What is this
I
too
just
nice thing
it
that you
did
said? Why did you say they too nice?
too passive. Yeah, will let you get away with anything. They
Yeah, but when black men check you, you call them controlling. You call them controlling if they don't let you get away with anything. So what is it? Do you want a nice guy who's passive, lets you do whatever you want? Or do you want a guy who's going to check you and not let you get away with anything, and then you call him controlling, abusive? Like, what is it?
yeah, they just
Are you saying that he wouldn't be able to check you and that you need somebody to tell you to shut the fuck up?
if I'm out of line, I need you to tell me that. Yes.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Whatever it is, I'm not offended by your words.
You ain't
at all.
I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just
No,
I'm
I'm not
trying
talking
to
about. I'm not talking
understand. I'm
about.
trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
meet
not
your
talking
expectation.
about. I'm not talking about your words. I'm saying like I need that.
Why do you think that?
Let me just ask you another question. Why do you feel like you need to be tamed? What is it
Exactly.
within you?
Listen, maybe
Hold on.
maybe that was the
Let me
wrong.
finish the
Maybe that
question.
was the wrong word.
Let me. No, you said the right words because usually
Yeah,
people say what they
no.
mean at first. What is it? What is it within you that need to be tamed or checked or like? What do you think that is? Is that just something
Aggressive.
that you was
Or maybe a
conditioned with?
lead. I have not met a white man who can lead me like a black man.
He can tell it
It's
shut the
not
fuck up.
tame. It's
What does
not.
that
If I
mean? What does that mean?
She's trying to articulate her
I'm
words.
sorry,
yeah,
David. Give
I
me a
can't.
second.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't. They just don't give off.
Give off what?
Which you might give off as a black man. They don't give this off. I'm just not attracted.
No, they just don't want to go back and forth. You know, as black men, from when we are kids, either we gotta go back with our, first of all, we sit in the household, mom and dad gotta go back and forth. So we learn the trauma. We think relationships are about you and your woman going back and forth because we saw mama and dada going back and forth, fighting. So we are conditioned, both men and women, to think relationships mean you gotta fight, you gotta be toxic. So as a black man, the reason they think we are willing to put up with them or handle them is because we have been trained alongside with them to go back and forth, the toxicity of relationships. So when she meets a white man who didn't grow up with the toxicity of having to go back and forth with a woman and he just chills back, doesn't have to tell her what to do, she thinks he's too nice, he's too soft. But it's like the only reason black men put up with your masculinity or your aggression is because we don't know any better. Because we grew up seeing you doing it in high school, seeing it with our mamas, doing it to our dads, the back and forth, our aunties with our uncles, arguing all the time.
To what they give off. I can't really explain it, but
She doesn't
I'm
want
not out of control.
Popeyes. She
I'm
wants
not out of control. I don't need none of that. But I just need a strong man. Like I'm walk down the street with a strong black man. I just don't get that from. I haven't met a white man that gives me that.
They don't like to argue.
I think people use too many of
So
their.
it's not that I'm not against white men. I just haven't met any that
they don't give you a certain energy. The energy you look.
energy. Yeah.
Yours work.
I see them like I see some fine and attractive white men. I just haven't come in contact with one that I would date.
Y'all so fucking.
And it's not necessarily like I want them to act black or. Yeah, and that's just I am. I need someone. I'm not that soft, and that's just not me.
But why do you expect the black man to be the one to come to tell you to shut the fuck up? Why do you expect the black man to be the one to come and deal with your masculine energy? Like, why should a black man go out in the world, hustle, grind, get the bread, bring it home, and then come home in the house to start arguing with you, to tell you to do A, B, C, D, and then you don't listen to him, and then he tells you to do it again, and then the back and forth every single day for 20, 25 years, 30, and the black man is supposed to do that? No, man. No man should take that deal.
I'm not. I'm very
Y'all don't see the issue here?
strong-minded.
Again,
What is
again.
so? What
No,
is the
the
issue?
reason
Are
that
y'all
I say
married?
this, the reason that
What
I'm
is the
going down this
issue?
path is because in the video, the woman said that the guy says that the thing that he's used to experiencing in the household is chaos,
Yep.
masculinity, confusion, argumentative,
And
all of
that's
this
not.
shit.
Listen, that and that's not in my
Hold
household
on.
though.
Hold on. Girl, you just explained yourself.
Yeah, but no, I did not. But that is not in my household. I'm not loud. I'm not confrontational. I can call him out the room right now. We are the bestest of
That's
friends.
not, listen, I don't want you to go
I
into,
don't
no,
have
no,
that.
no, no,
Like,
no. Listen, the only thing I'm going by is what you described. I'm not bringing your personal situation into it. I don't want to get into that.
but
Get
you
into that.
have to. You have to bring the personal
No,
situation if you're telling me.
I asked you, what is it that you want? Why is it that you expected? Why don't you like this particular type of guy? Whatever. And everything that you described is the thing that the young man said that he was running away from. Because he don't
No,
want
no,
that.
Anton. If
You don't tell
if
me
you
no.
talk long, no, no, if you talk longer to understand what I'm saying, and just maybe those are not the words I'm trying to use, but I'm trying to explain to you why a white man don't turn me on, but a black man do, and those that maybe I'm not using the right words, but I don't need to be tamed like I'm out of control. I am not confrontational. I know how to control my emotions. I
You
know how
do
to
realize
articulate
that you're
myself.
changing up the way
So.
that what you're saying from the thing that you described originally, right?
Yep.
Exactly, because I'm telling you that I am not articulating myself correctly. So you're going another way that is like way out of not who I am
I'm not
based
going
on
anyway. I'm using
No,
the
as
words
soon as
that
he's
you use to illustrate
yeah.
a point. I didn't change your words up. I didn't go no other way.
Yeah, because you did say masculine. So when you
Yep.
said
You
masculine,
asked me if you were masculine. You said maybe I'm masculine.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
what you said.
Don't be
so masculine doesn't mean that I'm confrontational and I'm a problem and that's not what
So
that
what
means.
is
But that's how men see it. The moment you describe yourself as a masculine woman, that means there are some traits. Not all, you may not be loud, but you may still be argumentative. You may still be not a good listener. Still, you may be disrespectful. It doesn't mean you have to be loud. Doesn't mean you have to be ghetto and sexy red and gorilla and all those people like that and twerking. You don't have to do all that extra shit. But you can still disrespect a man. You can still have bad energy around you. Maybe you're not soft. Okay, maybe you're not submissive. Those are all traits that any man, especially a black man, may not want.
it that they need to check if you're not a problem, man?
Yeah.
Good point.
But man, it's like a lead in,
What does
like
masculine mean?
Hold on, come on. What is it that they need to check? What is it that he need to grab you up and say shut the fuck up for then?
no, I done never said that. I never said that. I never said that.
Maybe black women are bipolar too.
I never said that. I did not say he needed to snatch me up and tell me shut the fuck up.
Maybe black women, maybe I asked you, I said, so like, shut the fuck up. And you was like,
Yeah.
maybe.
Because she thinks that you're trying to help her get what she's trying to convey out, but she don't know you well
I'm
enough.
sorry, Dalen. I appreciate it. I don't need nobody being a lawyer.
I feel bad seeing it.
No, hold on. No, boo, you don't gotta feel bad. What I'm not giving into Anton is where he's trying to make a whole nother narrative to get.
No, he's not. You said you're masculine. You said you don't like white men because they're too nice, they're too passive. They don't put you in your place. And you said you like a black man because he will tell you to shut the fuck up. So Anton didn't make up these things. You said those things, but because now you see how it comes off, you exposed who you truly are. Now you're trying to run those things back.
Get a conversation, and that's not what we're going to do. I don't fit what you're trying to make out of it, and that's just as simple as that.
You described yourself.
I know what I described.
It caught my ear. I said, hold on, let's find this out. I asked you for more clarification. You described it. Now I'm using your words to illustrate a point. And for some reason, you don't believe that applies to you.
No.
Jess, do you agree with this? Am I crazy?
What portion are you asking me if I agree with?
I forgot the sisterhood is gonna stick
Yeah,
together.
the
Don't worry
sisterhood
about
is
it.
kicking in.
I'm
No,
trying to
no,
figure
Jay,
out.
it's no sisterhood. Without any time, somebody else tell me what I said
Let's see if they
wrong.
do.
I think it
Somebody
was
that's not Anton and that's not David.
Yes.
okay. I think
Okay,
it's
so the definition of masculine, that's what you wanted?
Go
That's
ahead,
what
give
you
me the
wanted?
definition.
I
And
get what you're trying to say. I don't think you articulated it in a way that.
Yeah, I know what you were saying,
But I get
what you were saying is not.
I
That
think
was
it still
almost like
applies.
girl code talk. Because like what I got, what you were saying was you need your back broke. So you need
yeah,
somebody to like.
yes.
You
Somebody
know what I'm
you
saying?
No,
That's what I took out of it.
how the hell y'all got sex out of this? I'm
I know.
confused.
I think
huh?
backs got broken in Brokeback Mountain. What are we talking about?
Girl, we
No,
We're
like
talking about
you
broke.
said a
Now we're talking
backbone.
about getting the back broke.
Yeah, see now Anton has left. Now the sisterhood or sister code is coming in. They're trying to rescue her because Anton exposed her, but they're now trying to defend her like as if she didn't say exactly what she said. Isn't it crazy? She literally said, I want a man to tell me to shut the fuck up. I'm masculine and white men are too nice and passive for me and I want a leader. And then this woman is talking about she wants her back to be broken. Like those two things have nothing to do with each other. But what do you guys think, man? Shout out to Anton Daniels. This was a good conversation. All right, next up, for some of you guys who want to be stepdads, this kid deleted his stepdad and then the mom, he disappeared. Now the mom is trying to make sure they find him. Let's go.
Atlanta mother is grieving as her son is on the run, accused of killing her husband. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Newton County deputies say 41-year-old David Gay was shot and killed by his stepson in the family home last evening. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor just talked with the wife of the victim, who is also the mother of the suspect. A lot to take in for this woman. Angelique.
Good afternoon to you both. This Newton County mother is an emotional wreck. She clearly says she loves her husband, who was killed just last night. But tonight her plea is to her son, who is accused of murder and on the run. She says she wants him to turn himself in. Now, we just talked with her minutes ago. Take a listen.
Please turn yourself in. This is the ultimate breaking for me. And I cannot. I said I couldn't lose another child. And I lost my husband. And now I really can't lose another child. David.
So for those, some of you guys want to be stepdads so bad, right? You want to be the captains, right? This could be you, man. Because at the end of the day, especially when those teenage boys grow up, they become the son husbands. So when a new man comes into the woman's life, the mom's life, they see it as competition that the dad, the new stepfather, is taking their position. Because when the mom has no man husband, the mom does everything for the son. She goes everywhere with him. All the money she gets, she spends with him. Now, when this new guy, the stepdad, comes in, she starts spending more time with the husband, with the new dad, stepdad, more than she spends with the son. So the sons get jealous, especially when they become teenagers. And remember, the sons never forget who their real dad is. Now, this guy could have been mean to him or whatever the reason. We'll never know because the kid ended his life. So this could be you. Because at the end of the day, the real father is still alive. So you are gone because you're trying to play Captain Save a son, whatever it is, trying to be stepdad, trying to be stepfather of the year. You're going to lose your life.
David loved you. He loved me. He loved Kennedy, and he loved his family. He loved like you guys were his own. So if you see this, or if anybody sees this who has any information or who can contact Jaden, please let him know that I love him.
Damn.
Now, Newton County deputies confirm both Gay and Daniel lived in the same house together on Avery Drive in Covington. Deputies say Daniel opened fire on his stepfather last night, then fled the scene in his stepfather's Cadillac Escalade. Now,
Oh my God. She ended his life and she also took his car. Oh my God. That's crazy. And you could find this guy, obviously they live in the same household, so you can find this guy has been paying bills. Maybe he raised him since he was like 10, and then the kid gets to end his life. Yet he could have started his own family, but now he invested in 2 kids that don't belong to him. Now he has lost his life. All for what? So, because at the end of the day, the kids never forget who their real dad is. You could even find that maybe the real dad didn't like this guy, and he talked to his son to do something about it. I wouldn't be surprised. But now the mom lost the new dad, the stepdad, and now the mom is losing the son, and then the son is going to lose his life. Because he may be 16, but he's going to be tried as an adult. He's probably going to go away for life. So some of you guys have to think twice before you want to be, stepfather of the year.
they found that Escalade at a nearby park, Denny Dobbs Park, but Daniel was nowhere to be found. Now, his mom says after losing one son last year to murder and gun violence, and that was Kendarius Spear, and a husband just last night to gun violence, David Gay, she says she does not want to lose another family member. Now, Mrs. Gay says she was not at home and she does not know what happened. We will have much more of her interview tonight at 6.
She already lost the son too. He's 16. He probably going to be given minimum 30 years, minimum, if he's lucky. Because if they find out it was like cold blood, if he wasn't trying to defend himself, if they count it as manslaughter, he may get 20 years. If they find out, he didn't try to attack him, and he wasn't defending himself, they're gonna throw away the key. So this was just a reminder for you, those of you who want to be stepfathers of the year, man. It's not easy, and in some cases, because there are 2 ways that this can go. Either you can lose your life the way this guy did. Or if you don't lose your life, let's say you guys break up the way the stepdad was married to the woman. If you guys break up, she can put you on child support even if the kids don't belong to you. And the reason being, they say you are taking care of the kids already. They are used to you. So you're going to be put on child support even if the real dad is not on child support. So now you have to pay child support till the kid is 18. Too bad. Life lost, but I guess a lesson learned. All right, next up, shout out to the Peef, man. They are going off. Crazy videos. So let's get into it.
So this conversation, yes, we've oh man, we've beat it over the head so much, but I think so much clarification is being brought to light. And this is the thing. The guys are talking about what is ahead. Y'all, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And the stealing part, the stealing of your time and making you believe that you have all the time in the world to check boxes at different times in your life whenever you choose to, that's not how life works. And this is coming from someone I've lived multiple lives. I've been in the movie industry, I've been in the dance industry, I've been a professional dancer. I put dance aside. It came to a cross in the road. I danced for 3 professional teams, and I saw my age of being 22, 23, and I said, I do not want to end up like some of my mentors, and that's being 100% real. A lot of the dancers that I looked up to were dancing for Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Usher, Beyonce, people that I was in the studio with, people that I was rubbing elbows with, people that I was with auditions with. I knew that was my next move was to go move to either LA. I was in Atlanta, go move to LA or New York. And I told my parents, I said, I'm coming back home, I'm finishing school. I want a family. And I know if I go down this path, it's going to take me away from what I ultimately want in life 15 years from now. So you have to think your decisions that you make in high school, in college, yes, they will affect you in the long run. Everything in your life is brick by brick, decision by decision, road by road, and path by path. So at that moment, I literally said, I am putting down dance because this is not the life that I want. I don't want to be 40 years old, single, 45 years old, single, can't dance anymore, can't move around anymore, opening up a studio, living that life by myself. I wanted a different life in the long haul. And so as women, you got to realize and remember, and even as men, we don't have the time to say, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm gonna work on this right now for the next 5 to 10 years. As women,
Facts.
there is a clock. That you have a clock on having babies, right? You don't know. Women are preaching this IVF stuff and freezing your eggs. Let me tell y'all. All the women I know, I can name 30, 40 women that have gone in the struggle. I have a lot of women that I have access to. White, black, Hispanic, Indian. I know a lot of women. First of all, this journey is not as easy as people say it is. That's number one. So don't let somebody tell you, oh, girl, you'll be fine. You'll be able to freeze. Girl, there's no pressure to get married. Oh, you see Rihanna having babies at 37. Rihanna is a billionaire. Rihanna could have got a baby put in her and would nobody know nothing about nothing.
Facts. They use the Rihannas, all the celebrities as their role models in terms of, hey, I can wait and then I'll just find my Mr. Right when I'm 45 and then we shall just, do the whole artificial insemination or IVF. But IVFs are very expensive and actually statistics show the chances of them working out are very little and they're expensive. So imagine a man works and then you expect him to also come pay for the IVF. It's like, why wouldn't he go with a woman who can actually, have babies the natural way? So, but also I like the fact that she talked about men as well. Even as men, we have limited time, but usually for men, it's about getting the resources. We can't wait too long. We need to grind and, get the resources so that when we find the woman that we actually want to marry, we have the resources ready. She's spitting, man. Shout out to married women.
So comparing yourself to a billionaire is absolutely ludicrous. That's number one into celebrities. But people getting on podcasts and social media preaching to young women that you have all the time in the world for marriage and babies, that is false. By the time you get to the age where you think you want to be married, your person or the person you're looking at is already married and already starting their lives with somebody else.
Facts.
Right? And that's why you have so many women that are in their 30s and 40s that are willing to be side chicks just to have a piece of that dream man that they always wanted.
I think the TV shows, the music, the Cardi B's, the Beyoncé's, the Nicki Minaj's, I think they all didn't help because they preach the single BS. They preach to the women to just make the bag, make the money, and fuck these niggas. That's what they preach. So I kind of couldn't want to put all the blame on the women, but at the end of the day, there's so much influence out there. So I understand why it's so hard for women, because if they were told the truth, because Cardi B and Nicki and all those people, they want to sell their music. So they're going to say all the most toxic shit to sell their music. So at the end of the day, the women are going to wait and wait. But the thing is, they think there's a husband supermarket that after doing their career and when they're 45, they're just going to walk into a supermarket of husbands and buy one. And the truth is, there isn't none. So you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to, be with an average guy, start small, build together. But they want a finished product after they're done with their careers. And it's never going to happen.
Right? So don't let anybody sell you dreams about freezing eggs and IVF, because I can give you 3 personal close relationships with people who had failed IVF after spending $30,000 to $60,000 per round on their fertility journeys.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's not as easy as people think it is. It's not as accessible, to everyone as people think it is as well. And then sometimes you're not even a candidate for that, right? You don't know if your body can withhold a pregnancy. So
Facts.
you can spend money on IVF and then your body can't even hold and deliver the baby. So you have to go down a surrogacy journey, or you have to go look at an adoption journey.
That's more
So
expensive.
why put yourself in that type of stress and that type of um horrible situation that you can really avoid altogether by really looking and planning your life. And I think that's all the gentlemen are trying to say. It's about you can do it all. You really can do it all at the same time. And having a partner, having a husband that is going to stand with you and work with you and love you and support you. You guys have distinctive role within your marriage. Y'all, it is the most beautiful thing. I cannot tell you. It is the most beautiful thing. Marcus knows, my husband, he knows our marriage and our family. And it is the most beautiful thing to have someone to do life with. And I mean do life with, not end of life, but
Uh-oh. The ladies are running off. You know, anytime I think Casey is spinning these harsh truths, most ladies go quiet and they run off. You know, they can't even, protect themselves. They only try to speak up when these guys are talking. That's when they're like, rah, 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 rah. Well, when Casey starts preaching and cooking, she goes in. Now this one lady is running off. Like, I want to see if they're going to say anything in return, because she's speaking facts right now. But they're going to call her old, and usually they don't listen. Usually they don't care what she has to say because they think they're still young.
experience life, live life, grow children. I was telling my mom this 2 nights ago. I said, do you know what it feels like to be able to talk to my husband, and my husband and I discuss our daughter and her personality and discipline, and my husband consider my feelings, and I really respect his leadership and his understanding, and we both read and we research about learning to make sure we know as much as the different stages that our children are in, and so we can understand them and discipline them and create structure and have a loving home. That is something that you don't hear about in marriage. You're not hearing about those conversations on the internet because everybody is so focused on talking such negatively about marriage, that in our community, because it's not all communities, right? But I just love how Trev and Sweeney stated it. They are painting the picture that you can do it at the same time, y'all. You can work if you want to. You can be a stay-at-home mom, like Darwin, like Bruce's wife, and his wife is beautiful and happy, and their kids are healthy, and their home works for them. So I was really offended at even her being brought up in a conversation that she's not on here to even defend herself for the decision she made for her own personal life to stand under Darwin's covering.
Man, shout out to Casey. There's nothing more than I love when a married woman tries to educate the younger women. Because in the world where we have the Cardi B's, the Sexy Reds, who have such loud voices and have such much influence, just listening to a married woman trying to educate the young women about, what it takes to be married and why marriage is important, may give us men some hope, because men are checking out. And the reason they're checking out is because they weigh the deal and they're like, okay, I mean, she's there just for herself. She wants the marriage for herself, and then she's going to divorce me and drag me in court, and then I'm going to lose the kids, I'm going to lose the house, and it's not worth it. But she speaks so positively about marriage, and shout out to her, man. I hope that ladies learned something, because as you can see, one of them right here, Runaway, there's only one, and I don't think she's listening, and I don't even think she really cares. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Shout out to the PF link down below. All right. Next, we got a single mom. Single moms are hating on married women. Who knew? What a time to be alive. All right.
You can say what you want about me
All right,
being a
hold
single
on.
mother or a
Let's
baby
go.
mama, if you will. And trust me, I have heard it all.
Hold on,
I once
replay.
had a girl in college. You can say what you want about me being a single mother or a baby mama, if you will. And trust me, I have heard it all. I once had a girl in college tell me that we were not the same because I was pregnant and set to be a baby mom, and she was engaged and set to be a wife, and she had the ring to prove it, and there was a reason for that.
You are not the same. You are not the same. How is that rocket science? And how was she wrong for saying that? You were a single mom or you were pregnant at the time. She had no kids. You are not the same. How is that offensive? Why is that so wrong to say? This is crazy. Single moms are attacking married women now. Huh? Who knew?
And I think about that girl often. According to Facebook, I think she's like 3 kids deep now. I just want her to know if she's watching this. While your kids are in your house tearing it up and getting on your nerves, you're going to be doing laundry every 5 minutes and the dishes the other 10. And that man is sitting on your Ashley furniture couch putting a dent in it and sucking up all your O2. My kiddo's going to be in Florida living her best life all summer. And I'm going to...
How do you know the husband is not helping her? Why are you projecting the most negative things about her marriage? Because you're a single mom and you're not married? Why are you competing with her? She's not competing with you. She values marriage, so she got married. She got kids after getting married. You're a single mom.
I'm going to be here in my house on an acre that's clean and quiet for 4 whole months. And with all my extra disposable income, because I only have 1 kid, I'm going to be jet setting on a flight every other weekend, living my best life. And yeah, I'm not married yet, but I do have somebody that comes over and sluts me out whenever I want him to. He leaves with a pocket full of...
Oh my God. So she's a single mom with a sneaky link who goes to her house to break her back. But now she's competing with a happily married woman. And she thinks she's in a better position because she's in the streets and she's getting her cheeks clapped. What a time to be alive. So tell me how this message is going to help reduce the single mother rate. Tell me how a young woman would look at this message and not want to be like her, and then increase the chances of her being a single mom. How is this helping the community?
With snacks, I leave happy, and we don't talk other than that, and I'm very okay with that. Nobody getting on my nerves and leaving socks next to the dirty hamper, even though it's right there. But, I hope your life is as charmed as mine. I hope that ring is real snug.
Single moms hating married women. I hope the comments didn't agree with her. I didn't check the comments yet, but let's go see. I may be alone, but I'm never lonely. Yes, you are. Hear me out. I'm not entirely sure this is a diss towards her. Exactly. She's trying to diss the married girl that she was with in high school, I think. If she's married, she likely planned her 3 kids and gets daily help with all 3 kids from her husband. That's what I was saying. This woman made a video assuming that the married woman is not happy and the husband doesn't help. She's jealous. That's what I think. Let's see. I'm a baby mama that just closed my first home, making 6 figures. I'm good and at peace. Okay, that works for you. That doesn't mean someone who's married is not happy or at peace. See, glorifying being a baby mama. See this? What if you said, I'm a baby mama, but I make 6 figures. I'm peaceful, but I want to be married one day. That would make more sense. That would sound more hopeful. But this doesn't help nobody. Glorifying being a single mom doesn't help the community in any way. Not that you care. Clearly, you made this comment. My husband and I only have 1 kid. Our baby girl going to be in Florida all summer, and we're going to Japan. See? Some people can actually be married and it can work out. They can still have fun. Let's see. This lady says, I feel the same way about people who talked about me for getting pregnant at 7. However, Dr. J is on a plane using the Wi-Fi right now. Okay. Why do they think that traveling negates the fact that you're still a single mom? I don't know who came up with this idea. But what do you guys think about that? Single moms are hating on married women. Crazy times indeed. Next up, this woman is saying men are doing everything in relationships and women are doing nothing. So let's get into it.
Why do men have to initiate everything? Why is the thing for dating these days, if a man isn't doing everything, he's not interested in you? A lot of women say that you're not supposed to show your emotions or show that you like a man until he shows it first. Some people say a relationship or dating a man will only work if he's head over heels in love with you first, and then you show him love. Some people say you need to be a mean girl in order for a man to like you. Be mean to him, and then you'll get him, sis. Like, be mean. Like, men like to chase mean girls. Like, men love when you don't like them. So if you love a man, don't say it. Don't show it. Don't act like you love him. Don't show him that you love him. Don't check up on him. Don't text good morning first. Don't do any of that. You just need to be really mean and be stuck up, and then the man will love you, and then the man will fall for you. And then
I mean, men have woken up. Men are starting to realize their worth, that they're not going for women who don't put effort. So you want me to pay for all the debts, you want me to call you, you want me to check on you, but you can't even text to check on me, to see how I'm doing? Like, even when I'm sick, I'm supposed to call you to let you know I'm sick. You can't even be like, hey, how's your day going? You still expect me to call you in the morning, lunchtime, before bed, but you can't even text me to check on me? Men are realizing that, you know what? Let me try Brazil. Maybe the women over there are better. They're nicer. Let me try Asia. Maybe the women down there will actually, they still know how to treat a man. Because despite them being mean to men, not checking up on men, being stuck up, wanting to be chased, they still expect the man to be providing. So men are saying, that's not a good deal. I ain't going for it. And she's cooking.
And then if you are the type of female that shows that affection and that love and that reciprocated energy, you're somehow dumb and you're a pick-me for doing that.
Yeah.
And, oh, that's the reason why he did you wrong. Are y'all okay? Like, are y'all okay?
They're
If
not.
I like somebody, I'm going to show them that I like them. I'm not going to move heaven and earth for that person when I just met them, but dang. And we're talking for like 2 months, and I see he having a rough day, I'm going to buy him lunch. If I'm out at the store and I see something that I think my man would like, I'm going to buy it for him and give it to him just because. It's like y'all are keeping score. Like, everything is, oh, give and take, or take, or, oh, if he don't do this, don't do that. Make sure he...
Oh, they're all about taking, mama. Don't even get it twisted. They're all about me. What is a man going to do for me? They kind of have a list of 1,000 things. He should do this. He should buy me this, travel here, take me here, do this, check on me, call me, cook for me, ABCD, back massage. They have a list of everything a man should do for them, but they never have a list of anything they're going to do for a man. And men are waking up. Men are like, this is not a good deal, man. I ain't taking it.
Paying for everything. He needs to be paying for your nails, your toes, your hair. He needs to be doing everything for you, and all you have to do is be a mean girl, and everything's gonna be okay. Like, just be mean to him, girl. That's how you get him.
Never gonna work.
Seriously, are y'all okay? Everything is about keeping score. Everyone's afraid to show affection. Everyone's afraid to be open with their feelings. Everyone's afraid to reciprocate energy. And then you wonder why nothing is working out. No one's getting married. There's so many broken homes. People are getting cheated on. People are doing all this crazy stuff when all you have to do is be yourself, bro. Like, be your...
Facts. She's cooking. But I think the main reason for all this, when you just, peel the layer back, is because most of us didn't see healthy relationships when we were growing up. If anything, all you saw was your mom raising you. Some of you don't even know who your dads are. If not, you saw your mom and your dad fighting till they broke up, or you saw your mom bringing a bunch of men at home, Oh, you find out who you think is your dad is actually not your dad. So we grew up in so much trauma. So no wonder why we can't relate with each other. All we know is trauma.
Yourself. How are you going to find the right one if you're not being yourself? If you think that she looks pretty or he looks handsome, tell them. If you woke up that morning and you want to text him good morning, even though he didn't text you back last night, just say good morning.
Yeah.
Hope you slept well. Like, why does everything have to be about, oh, if you do this, then you're chasing? Isn't the idea to, like, be in love and, like, get there one day? Like, why is everything I don't know. Like, this is weird. And
I hate it too. Speak on it. I hate it. Let's go through the comments because I can guarantee you some women are going to call it pick me, because we have learned over time that when a woman says anything, because she's holding both men and women accountable. Now, hey, don't play games. Check on your person that you care about. Put some effort for both sides. But at the end of the day, the fact that her message, half of it tells women to be nice to men and to put effort, some women are going to call it pick me. I can bet on that. So let's check the comments and see. Girl, the internet ruined a lot of shit for real. I agree. If she don't know me, she like me. If she doesn't show me she like me, we won't talk. Yeah, some guys are like, hey, listen, after 2-3 dates, if you're not showing up that you like me, you're not putting any effort, but you still expect me to put all this effort, I'm gone. After a certain age, I promise we're not chasing mean girls. Facts. After a certain age, once a man has been through situations where he was doing everything, he's gonna realize, okay, I did things for Jessica, I did things for Angela, for LaQuisha, for Shaquanda, and they all didn't reciprocate anything. They didn't do nothing for me. Even for my birthday, I took them out and spent my money on my own birthday. So you know what? I'm done. I'm done being nice. I'm done putting my best foot forward and never getting anything in return. So men are like, no. Who's this prophet protector? I mean, I'm not surprised. Men like what she's saying. It's very draining. This is only in our community. I kind of agree. I scroll past all that mess. I'ma show mine love just like he shows me. All right, good girl right there. Why I have to chase you to pay your bills? Facts. It's like the man is supposed to chase, and then while he's chasing, she's expecting him to pay for her gas, pay for my phone, pay for my hair, take me on dates, but you can't even text me to check on me. Reciprocation is a must if you like someone. Facts. Big facts. Big facts. Like, at least that's the least you can do for a man as a woman. Show him. Even, I mean, I'm hoping you mean it, but if you don't mean it, a text every night. Most guys will die never seeing reciprocation from a woman, because all they know is what they're supposed to do. And somebody has said this so many times. People have said this. The women are taught how a man should treat them, but they are never taught how to treat a man. And that is true. It's profound and very true, man. Okay, we have some ladies who like to take care of their men. I like that. What do you guys think about that, man? Shout out to this lady. She was cooking. I'll put her link down below. All right, next up, we have Rich Cooper. This was a good show. So let's have the conversation. All right.
I think you are a very masculine woman. I think you really want to be the head of the household. I think you really want to lead. I think you have a real problem of letting go and actually giving up, and giving space for a guy to tell you no and tell you what to do. You're really big on this compromise thing. You think every decision should be a joint decision. And I'm telling you, guys that aren't going to put up with that shit. Guys that make decisions for a living are the kind of guys that you want, that also are, because the guys you're going for, let's be clear. We talked about this before, but the guys that you're going for, the ones that can just swipe and have a new option, you're talking about a very tiny, small percentage of men out there. You are fighting with the vast majority of women. You are competing with a very small percentage of men. So a guy who has those options is not going to put up with bullshit. He's not going to want to argue with you and fight with you. He's not going to say, hey, I want this done on this day, on this time, and here's how I want it done. He doesn't want to have a fucking argument with you and compromise on how things are done. A guy wants to run his relationship like how he runs his household. But you say that, but I don't get the sense and energy. The energy that you give off versus the energy that Maham gives off are completely different. Soft, feminine, quiet versus, and I'm not trying to pick on you. This is just my observation and people in the chat as well. And I think a lot of this has to do with your job and your career as well. Kindergarten teacher versus corporate woman. You have to exhibit these competitive, domineering traits if you want to get anywhere in the corporate world, in the corporate life, because that's what it takes to succeed. And that's why men are generally far better at it, or they're generally further along, or they're in higher positions because they're more built for it than women generally are. So
But I'm not the
I
same.
know
I'm
you.
not like this in a relationship though.
Yeah, but it's not something you turn on and turn off. You know, you cannot tell me you tell people what to do every day in a corporation, at your job. You know, you are the manager, you tell people what to do, and then you come home and for some reason your husband is going to tell you what to do. No, that's who you leave half the time. You spend more time at work than with your man. So those characteristics of a manager, of a boss, are going to be ingrained in you. So you cannot turn it and turn it on, the masculinity, and turn it off. So it's always funny when they say, oh, at work I'm very masculine and tell people what to do, but at home I'm such a soft angel and I listen to my man. No, it doesn't work like that. I don't even believe her.
But there's no way that that's true, Lauren.
Exactly.
Because it's not just a.
I mean, you can ask my
because
ex.
it's.
You can talk to him.
But he's an ex for a reason, isn't he?
Exactly.
Like, it's not just a switch that you can flip off. How you are.
No, it's when I'm
40 hours
comfortable
of
around
the
a man,
week.
I'm much softer. I'm much.
But that's
much
the
softer when I'm
problem.
Condition of femininity. Imagine men who are saying the same thing. When I'm around a good woman, I'm going to be a good leader, strong. You know, that's the only time I'll be a leader for. These other women, I won't be a leader. You see how that doesn't make sense? Because they want men to be leaders and providers all the time. Whether you meet the wrong woman or the right woman, they want you to be a leader. Even the wrong woman wants you to be a leader and a provider, including the right woman. But for them, they are saying they pick and choose when to be soft and put me in my soft girl era or make me submissive. It's like, no, it's either you're a submissive woman or you're not. She doesn't get it.
Just said but that's the problem. Your femininity.
What makes you comfortable?
Hold on, Spence.
Somebody who's safe.
Hold on.
Go on, Moff. Go on.
You are now telling us that your softness and your femininity and your willingness to let a man lead is conditional.
Yeah.
Right? Being feminine is not conditional. Being masculine is not conditional. What happens if a guy walked up to you and he was like, hey, I like to wear high heels on the weekend and wear dresses and makeup until I'm with a woman that makes me feel comfortable in my masculinity, and then I'll take the lead and I'll start getting shit done. You'd laugh that guy out of the building.
Right.
So it's a full-time gig. This idea, it's like, well, I will be feminine and I will turn on this feminine character only when I'm comfortable, then and only then when I'm comfortable. And that's a hurdle that you're essentially making a guy overcome. He's got to now jump through all these hoops, and he only gets the best of you after he's been like and I'm being a bit facetious here, but the point stands. When he's done all these things and he has to lead and do the right things off the bat for you to give him that same thing back. And
So
I
then-
think, go ahead.
I have a question for you with this.
Yeah.
What is the difference then between a lot of men want a confident, independent woman, right? They find
They're
it
liars.
attractive.
That's not true. The men will say anything to get laid. And I'm being honest, as guys do that. Guys, let's be honest. Some of you guys have said the most wildest stuff to a woman just because you want to clap the chicks. You know, even when she's not that good looking to you, you say she's good looking because you want to clap chicks. And men do this all the time. They see these independent women who don't need no man, and then they scream, no, I like an independent woman. Usually, if they say that, it's because they just want to go 50-50 with her. And then come to find out, she claims she's independent, but she doesn't want to go 50-50.
They're liars. So they don't want a woman with confidence who walks with confidence or walks into a room and has confidence.
Either they're liars or they're severely
fine line,
lacking.
right?
No, but either I think they're lying or they're severely lacking. But I think the popular thing, this boss girl sort of archetype that we've seen with the rise of feminism, a lot of women are like that. And especially, look, if I'm on a date with you and you're like, yeah, I run like 2 or 3 companies and, I've got all these responsibilities and I'm trying to get laid, I'm going to tell you that I love boss girls. I'm going to tell you that I love boss babes. I love a confident woman that can command the respect from any guy in the room, because it's like, well, I'm not going to take this girl seriously. I'm not saying you particularly, but I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
It's just like, I would definitely tell you I like that. This is, but what you see, it's like those things generally aren't adding up, and the polarization doesn't work out in the end. Like men that are honest don't have much of a chance in dating. Most men, that are being honest don't have much of a chance. I love when women say like, oh, well, just be honest with me. Tell me you just want to sleep with me. You're not really interested. And it's not so you'll reward him for his honesty. It's so you can tell him, hey, there's the door. Thanks for telling me you only want to bang me. Now you can leave now. Not like, oh, here, I'll reward you for your honesty. So like that's, and again, it's hard. There's no perfect answer to it. It's tough. That's the dating world. Like but
I mean, it's like
coming
jail.
into
You have to make money as well, you know?
I agree. I don't disagree. But I think the problem is that I think the idea that you're withholding this femininity until like the right buttons get pressed or the right signals come, I think that, and you got to be vulnerable and you got to be honest.
As soon as I go on a date, I'm more feminine.
Okay, then after the date, you become masculine, and you don't think a man will pick up on that eventually? Now, if you're saying you're going on a date with a guy one time and you're never going to see him again, that's one thing. But if you're saying you're going to see the guy consistently, that on-off switch when you pretend, because let's be honest, both men and women on a date, especially on the first date, we put on a front, right? We put on a mask. It's not who we are truly. But as you get to know each other longer down the road, your true intentions, your true characteristic is going to come out. It's going to slip up. You may try to hide it at some point, but you're going to be in a situation where she's going to start to curse you out. And then you're like, oh, so all along you were pretending to be a nice woman, but you're not. So men are just saying, you know what, let me go to Brazil where the women are naturally feminine. They're not feminine because they're conditional or because they got to pay for a meal first for it to be feminine. Men are going to Asia, men are going to Africa. It's like, let me go where the naturally women are raised to be feminine. It's not conditional. It's not a switch on, switch off. On Sundays I can be feminine, but on Monday I'll be masculine as hell. Men are choosing other choices.
I'm softer. If I'm in setting is what I mean.
buy that.
Of a date.
I buy that. Spencer, you had a question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because you said you will become feminine once you feel comfortable around a man. But what makes you feel comfortable? What is that barrier?
Guess what I mean is like, I'll always be feminine and soft when I first meet a guy, right? Just because I'm meeting a man and I'm a woman, right? So there's that instant reaction.
Okay.
But to be like a, I guess, less guarded version, is what I'm saying. I have to feel safe around you because at the end of the day, men are a threat to women. Either which way. Physically, you are always a threat to us.
All right, she's a victim. She's a feminist. I can't do it anymore. What do you guys think? Shout out to Rich Cooper. Link down below. Till next time. Peace.